Hey Passion Church family, we just wanted to stop by real quick and let you guys know some of the precautions that we're going to be taking this Sunday. First of all, we're really excited that we're going to be able to have service live in person, and so just thrilled to do that. But we did want to stop by and make a video and let you guys know some of the precautions that we're going to be taking. So over here, we're going to have a family unit or group that are going to be setting together to enter the building at the same time. We also have X's to mark a spot of a line if there needs to be a line. There may not need to be a line. So here it says line up here 6 feet apart. We're going to be practicing social distancing. We will have masks available, but if you're feeling sick, please stay home. For your safety and for ours, we want to make sure that everyone is safe. And so if you're sick, just please watch online, and we want you to get better soon. So we're going to come on into the church building now. You'll notice that things are set up a little bit different in here. So this is going to be only an entrance. This is going to be entrance only, and we're going to do a one-way traffic. So if you need to check in your kids, it'll be over here, but we're also going to have someone at the welcome desk. Volunteers will be wearing a mask. They'll also be offering a mask to people. Masks are not required, okay? You do not have to wear a mask. Volunteers will be wearing a mask, but if you come, you will not have to wear a mask.
Would you like a spray of hand sanitizer?
Sure. So you will be offered hand sanitizer when you first come in. Then if you have kids, we have a system here. It's a little bit different than the norm. And it says right here, enter for Passion Kids check-in. There's an arrow on the floor. And then there's these exclamation logos that are spaced out 6 feet apart. So Josh, let's demonstrate. You ready? So this is 6 feet. When somebody moves up, you go another 6 feet. And so you just go around and practice social distancing. We have signs up that talk about covering your cough or sneeze with the tissue and what you need to do with that, washing your hands for 20 seconds, those type of things. And then we just come here, and then you'll stay here until you're ready to check in the kids. So then you'll come up here, and we will have a Passion Kids worker that will be stationed here. And kids will have to get their temperature checked before entering into Passion Kids. Here's the precaution. The reason why is because we want to make sure there's no sick kids going in around other kids. We also are going to make sure that all Passion Kids workers wear a mask. Kids will be social distance 6 feet apart. And there will also be signs right here for you to be able to see what the kids area is going to be doing for precautions. So you're welcome to read those things. But I've got great news. Great news. You ready for this? We are going to have a full Passion Kids opening. So we're going to be able to have nursery and pre-K and also elementary. So we're going to be able to open up, and we did not want to open up with only doing very, very minimal things, but now we're going to be opening up where we can have service in person, also with kids ministry in place as well. So if you'll...
One thing we do want to mention is if your kid happens to have a fever over the 100.4, yes, we're not going to kick them out of the church,
right,
but we will ask them that you have them sit with you in the main service so that we keep all the other kids healthy.
Yeah. But obviously in the sanctuary, we're going to show you in just a few minutes that we have it set up with 6 foot social distancing. And so we're going to head that way. But before we do, after you check in your kids, you'll notice there's a sign right here that says stop and wait for an usher to seat you and your family group. Okay, so you come here and an usher will follow you. Actually, before we do, how about we make a stop at the bathroom? How about that? So if you need to go to the bathroom, we're going to let you go to the bathroom, okay? So that's cool. So when you come in here, we have a bathroom available. We have actually 6 bathrooms in this church. So bathrooms are available. We're going to ask that you would use some sanitizing wipes, okay? They're sanitizing wipes. They kill all the germs and everything. So if whatever you use, if you could just wipe it down after you use the bathroom. If you use that, please wipe the baby changing station down. But if you are someone that don't trust that somebody did clean before you have the option to be able to clean things before you use the bathroom, okay? So we want you to be safe, and I would recommend after you clean that you wash your hands. Let's go to the drinking fountain.
So if you use the drinking fountain, please clean after each use. We also have the sanitizing wipes, and if you don't trust that the person in front of you cleaned, you can go ahead and clean it before you use it too.
If you do not need to check in the kids, the ushers will just go ahead and immediately seat you. We just kind of took a detour for those who actually did need to seat with kids. We only have one-way traffic, okay? So exit through those things. We want to make sure everybody's safe. There's things up on the wall for the CDC recommendations. We are following all of the CDC recommendations that we need to do. We want everyone to be safe. We want you to stop and let an usher seat you and your family or whoever's with you, okay? So stop, please wait for an usher to seat your family. So an usher come up, and we have spread these out for social distancing, but there may be a need for the ushers to adjust the seats a little bit, and let me demonstrate that. If you have a family of 3 and there's only a seat for 2, all the ushers have to do is take this seat and scoot it over, and it's still properly distanced, okay? All of these chairs are at least 6 feet apart. The city recommends for us to have 6 feet this way or 2 chair lengths beside, on one side or the other. We have at least 2 chair lengths beside, and we have 6 feet front and back in every direction, okay? So here's the thing. We would like for people to wear a mask, especially if they're walking in and out of the church, because you can't necessarily always be 6 feet away from each other. But again, that's your choice if you want to do that. If you're sitting with your family or whoever you're with, you can sit there if everybody feels comfortable without a mask. So if I'm sitting here, I'm going to be 6 feet away from the people in front of me, and I don't necessarily have to wear a mask to be safe or to keep others safe. It looks like Josh is getting ready to jam out up there.
So, all of our volunteers are wearing masks, but while they're on the stage, so people can hear Pastor Billy while he's preaching, so the volunteers while they're on stage will not be having to wear masks. But volunteers in the sound booth, greeters, kids workers, unless you're sitting in a chair just attending service, volunteers will have to wear masks. So for instance, ushers, when they're helping people sit, and when they're doing tithes and offerings, they will be wearing a mask. But when they sit down and just enjoy the sermon and worship, they can take their mask off as long as they're at their seat. But then, volunteers that aren't on the stage will be putting their masks back on.
Thanks, Josh. So here's what's going to happen at the end of service. During service, it's going to be a whole lot like a normal service as long as you're seated. Again, you're able to get up and go to the bathroom. We will have tissues available at the front of the sanctuary, and with tissues there are signs up that tell you how to properly use a tissue and how to throw it away properly and then wash your hands, okay? Because we want everybody to be safe from this. Now, we've been praying for God's protection. We've been praying for God to help with this virus. We are not fearful, we are just cautious. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can do to keep everybody safe. We're going to dismiss you guys at the end of service. If you don't have kids, we'll walk through what you do if you don't have kids, and then I'll talk about what you do if you do have kids, okay? So if you don't have kids, we'll dismiss those without kids, but we're still going to need you to practice social distancing, okay? So when you're dismissed, we want you to come through here, and we're going to have an exit right here, okay? We're going to have the ushers or someone to open the doors, so they'll be open for you to exit the building, okay? We also have hand sanitizer at different locations throughout the building. Also, we are going to have pre-packaged Panera bread available at the end of service. We cannot have food during service, but we are going to have food at the end of service that you can bring home with you as a pre-packaged food. You're going to be able to exit here and go out to get in your car, and it's just a great thing that we're able to still have church. I'm very thankful to be able to have church, So hopefully we'll be able to see you this weekend. But before we do, I'm going to go over, if you do have kids, what do you do at the end of service when I dismiss those that do have kids? So if you want to follow me, I'll show you that. So say I'm sitting here and I need to go pick up my kids at the end of service. And I'll say I dismiss those who have kids. So you just get up, you come through here, get back in line. So basically it's the opposite process as what you did to check in the kids, but we had to have enough room to have available for you guys to have social distancing. So here's the thing. I'm praying for God to do great things this Sunday. I think that God has been showing us that we should be grateful during this time. And hopefully you will be very grateful to know that we actually can meet in person now at church. And so be preparing for what God wants to do on Sunday. And until then, we'll be praying for you and we'll be looking forward to seeing you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.